Welcome to Techstination. On the line with us is Michael Teig, the president and CEO of a company called TigerLight. Thank you for joining us, Michael.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You've got an interesting product on the market. I'll let you start out by telling us a little bit about the company and your background here.
Well, the original TigerLight was invented, so to speak, by my brother, who's a police officer up in Portland, Oregon. And for the last 17 years, we've primarily worked with police and military. And over that time, the device, which incorporates a flashlight with a chemical agent, pepper spray, and it has proven to be the most effective non-lethal weapon in the world based on documented use of force reports by police departments across the country. In fact, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department conducted a very large 6-month study of results in the field with the device, and it had over 96% effectiveness, which is unheard of with non-lethal devices. Most anything else non-lethal falls in the 50 to 60 percentile, maybe up to 70%. But that was something that we were, incredibly pleased and surprised to see over time. It took us for a while to actually understand why that was. And the same with police departments. They didn't understand how it could be so much more effective. We have police departments with stop rates, they call them, below 50% because of high drug use. And they'd put the TigerLight in the field, and it would virtually have no failures over years of time. And so we took that technology and incorporated it into a little smaller, more compact device. We wanted it to still be very high quality. We made it out of polycarbonate. It has a metallized coating on it. And we incorporated a new technology, the GPS alert technology, and have worked over the last 3 years continually developing and enhancing that technology. And that's what we have now in the Defense Alert device that gives civilians a means of protecting themselves, a means of incapacitating a violent attack or a violent attacker with non-lethal force. At the same time, call for help from those in the best position to render aid. And they can do that themselves, or the alert also has a 911 button. They can call 911 and report the location and identity of the name and description of the person who is in trouble.
Well, let's describe this for folks here. So this is a small flashlight that you can wear or carry that has the, I guess it's the pepper spray agent built in for defense. Yes. And that also now connects via Bluetooth to your smartphone. And you're describing for us how people can use that. So step us through. You would have an app running on your phone?
Yes, the app's on your phone. Doesn't have to be turned on. The Bluetooth activates the app it's in the background, and it sends out the alert via multiple channels. It sends it via text, email, and the app itself. And it sends 2 types of alerts. One is we refer to as a danger alert. That will go to anyone in the app contacts anywhere in the world, just like the young lady who was attacked over in Naples, Italy, and her mother in Utah, 6,000 miles away, received an alert in real time showing exactly where she was in the streets of downtown Naples, and gave an address and the whole bit. So that's what the danger alert does. And then even more significant, however, is what we call crowd alert. And that basically goes with you everywhere you go, whether you're in New York or LA. If you push that alert button, which can be pushed without releasing the spray, it'll activate automatically if you do spray it, but you can also push it and just send the alert. And anybody who has the app, even if they're not in your app contacts, within a 1 mile radius will get the alert. And so basically it's a way to silently call for help and be heard by those in the best position to help you. Because, you know, we've seen hundreds and hundreds of incidents where particularly young women, college age, on campuses and so forth have been attacked, where there were probably 300, 400, 500 people within a few hundred yards of them, but they were inside buildings or, you know, where they couldn't hear a scream, and could have easily prevented that attack just with their presence had they known the attack was taking place. So in all those types of situations, which there are many, this renders the ability of that victim or potential victim to communicate with those around them. And it does it, like I said, through various channels. And the alert itself, we've actually developed to be much more accurate than a typical alert. You know, there are many alerts out there that, you know, you push a button, sends an alert, and it might be on a piece of jewelry or some other little component that you have with you, or it might be the phone itself. And the problem with that is that we found in the initial stages is that oftentimes location services aren't accurate, especially you know, the first time you activate them. And, you know, maybe 15%, 20% of the time, depending on where you are. Some places it will be very accurate, but other places it will not. So we looked actually for a couple of years trying to find a way we could improve that, but it, you know, there wasn't really anything we could do. As you know, Apple Location Services or Google Location Services, you know, is what it is. But we found that we could actually identify within the app how accurate the location was at a particular time. And so if the location wasn't within 20 meters, we decided that we would not activate the alert right away. We'd let it try to zero in for up to 30 seconds. And that by doing that, we greatly enhanced and increased the accuracy of the alert, particularly in those areas where maybe the phone service wasn't very, very good, or you're out hiking somewhere and it was maybe not even able to get an alert immediately. I had a location near my house in behind a building where behind a hotel, actually resort hotel, where you couldn't even send an alert at all. After we integrated this new technology into it, not only would it send an alert, but it sent it very accurately. But it took about 18 seconds. But our feeling is we'd rather have an accurate alert in 18 seconds than an inaccurate one in, you know, immediately. So that's another thing we've done with the technology itself to enhance it.
Now tell us about availability and pricing.
The availability is online and in some stores. We're in beta stores around the country, like inside the Macy's in New York and Houston Galleria and several places in and around LA and Seattle. You can go into those stores, the BHTA stores. It's kind of a store that features only new, innovative technology, and great stores. They've won some awards for themselves from the Retail Association lately, and also, of course, online on our website or on Amazon, either one. And the price is $130 for a unit. That includes the pepper spray, a practice spray, and the hand strap. And it includes the AA battery for the light. The Bluetooth module has a long life lithium battery incorporated into it, so you don't have to replace that battery. So basically everything you need comes with it. There are training videos on our website, introductory videos that take you through the process of setting up the app. Unlike others, there is no monthly service for the app. It's free. And in fact, anyone can download the app and receive alerts even if you don't have the device. And we greatly encourage that, because the more people who have the app, the safer we all will be. And that app currently is free.
What is the app called?
The DAD app, you can either search D period, A period, D period for Defense Alert Device on Apple or Google Play Store, and you can search TigerLight. Either one will pull up the app. And
for more info, where can people go?
There's a ton of information on our website. There's a video called "How Does It Work?" that takes you in detail through the device, explains all the components, how they work, and very importantly also it explains why it works and why it's effective, and explains how, why do we have a 96% plus stop rate over years when everything else is far, far below that. And once you understand that, not only will you be more effective in its use, you'll understand the value as well, because there are a couple of things that are really critical here that we haven't discussed, and that is the reality of attack dynamics. Most attacks on civilians occur very quickly, violently, and unexpectedly. And if you don't have a weapon in your hand of some sort, or you're not physically capable of overpowering your attacker, you're in trouble, because you're not going to be able to access a weapon during an attack, most likely, in most situations. And so it really needs to be something that is in your hand, that you would carry in your hand when you're exposed. And people just don't know when it's going to happen. There was a woman attacked and raped in an open-air parking lot at 4:30 in the afternoon in downtown Salt Lake, with hundreds of people within hundreds of yards of her, and it was just in a parking lot between two cars. And the guy got away with it. She had a gun on her at the time. She was a probation officer, had a concealed carry permit, had a gun on her, but couldn't get to it. So, those kinds of situations occur, and so it's very important to have it in your hand. And the fact that it does not look like a weapon, and also has dual utility as a flashlight, is critical, because it's 100 times more apt to be in your hand. And secondly, the hand strap retains it in your hand during an attack, because approximately 90% of people will drop their weapon during a sudden physical attack. I had one of our customers was a guy who actually trains Navy SEALs, and he has a group of individuals who provide protection to dignitaries and wealthy individuals and so forth who have had threats on their families. And he equips all his guys with this device, and his clients. And he called up, and his initial order, my initial contact with him was when he called up and ordered 27 units. And he told me, he said, "That's the best self-defense device I've ever seen." And I said, "Well, I agree with you, but why do you say that?" And he said, "Well, first of all, that hand strap's worth its weight in gold. We've conducted attack dynamic studies, and about 90% of people will drop their weapon in a sudden physical attack. So that is critical." And so we've incorporated those things that make it real. It's a lot of people have false sense of security with some of their self-defense measures, because they aren't going to play out in real life the way they think. Because when you are attacked, you lose all your fine motor skills. Everything changes, even from what you might have practiced. And so it's very critical that you don't have to use fine motor skills. So the device actually is what we call force indexed into your hand, which eliminates the need for fine motor skills. Basically, it's like throwing a punch. In fact, the girl in Italy, when she first described her attack to us, said, "I swung at him." And it was very interesting that she used that terminology just by herself, without us, putting that thought in her mind. but that's what it felt like to her. Like she just swung at him and she squeezed her hand, and when she did it, and the spray came out and incapacitated the guy. And that's the best possible scenario. If you can assimilate both a psychological and physiological response, the natural psychological or physiological response to an act of aggression, you've done a really good thing, because then it doesn't require months or years of training in order to implement that process under duress and under stress. And so these are really critical factors when considering something to protect you in those kinds of situations.
And once again, this is called the Defense Alert Device, or DAD. There's more info at TigerLight.net. Michael Teig, thanks for taking the time with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C. Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C. Crane.